Right, I would like to get something to you melts out there that are always quick to jump on the bandwagon on hating trolls. Oh, trolls are bad people. Trolling for deliberate reactions. Trolling for this, trolling for that. But little did you know, there are internet trolls with a good sense of humour, along with common sense. And a conscience, for that matter. In other words, trolls that troll the trolls. In other words, we are trolls that troll Satan and his demonic influences upon people. Does this mean that us type of trolls are actually, in fact, evil? We're this, we're that, we're the other? No. Don't get it twisted. So people need to stop with this bashing, the idea of troll being a bad person. It's unfortunate that in today's society there are 90% up to 95% of bad trolls that deliberately go around and look for drama within other people's lives. And then you've got humorist trolls that troll the ungodly within other people, that happen, like I said, to have a good sense of humour along with common sense and a conscience, that are 1,000 steps ahead of the game. They know exactly what they're talking about because they've had years of experience. So I don't want to be hearing this, oh yes, well, troll is someone that deliberately puts a bait out there on all social media outlets in order to get a rise out of someone. That is not true. Like I said, there are trolls within today's society that I would consider to be jokers, Trolls with a good sense of humour, along with a conscience and common sense. And this is what people lack in today's society, which, it's unfortunate, has actually turned 90% up to 95% of the human masses into degenerative, underachieving circus clowns with no life going for them. It's a harsh reality, but it is what it is. Me personally, I would rather troll, and I mean troll, not to cause pain and suffering, hate and oppression like a lot of people do with us chosen, but rather I would want to troll within a humorist type of fashion. Someone with a conscience along with common sense. Like I said, that happens to be spiritually woke to all of the BS going on around us. And this includes the whole fake, nice, woke BS movement, that people put on. The emotions and, oh, I feel. No, you're a dumbass. I mean, the biblical scriptures say that we are to follow the conviction of the Holy Spirit's presence and keep our emotions and feelings in check. Not once in the Bible does it say that we are to focus on our feelings and emotions and become some melt within today's society. Smoke and mirrors, man. Smoke and mirrors. And people need to wake up. They need to wake up, get themselves a copy of the King James Bible, study it relentlessly as though their souls depend on it, and sort themselves out, rather than live within your feelings and emotions, you bunch of imbeciles. You bunch of morons. And yes, I mean that in a tough, loving, fatherly mannerism before people jump down my throat with that one. The point I'm trying to make, people, is the reason why we have the mess that we have today when it involves friendships, relationships, and I'm not talking just professional relationships with other people, I'm talking romantic relationships as well. People are too quick to fall in their feelings and emotions. Oh, I feel for him. I feel for her. Boff. It's a crock of shite. And that's for the whole soulmate theory. Come on now, really? I fell for that trap once before, and it got me essentially shafted by the opposite sex. There's no such thing as a soulmate, because our souls are our mate. And once we are one with our soul, we can begin to attract a true, authentic, romantic connection with another being, whether it be a man or a woman. In my case, a woman. So don't fall for this theory of soulmate. You know, oh, he is my soulmate, she is my soulmate. There's no such thing. That is nothing more than a soul tie, which could potentially prove to be spiritual suicide later on, because that soul tie could also be a soul tie to narcissism, sexual, impurified, demonic influences, and any other degenerative demonic influence on people that are trying to fool God's creation into falling for their traps, when little do they know, some of us are actually switched on to their bullshit games. So, like I said, quit with this whole soulmate theory, because it is a lot of bullshit. Essentially, what you're doing with the whole soulmate term I guess soulmate is also putting another being on a pedestal, whether it be a man or a woman. And what happens when you put a woman on a pedestal? She doesn't find you attractive at all, and this goes to you men. And again, vice versa with the women. When you put us men on a pedestal, we're automatically going to be repelled by that type of behavior. It is what it is. So learn. Life is a lesson. Life is also pain and suffering, but beyond all of that, is a calling to help awaken our souls to the good things that we've been missing out on in life. And again, this includes friendships, like I said, authentic friendships. Not chased, not forced. Merely, they are from a spiritual and intellectual perspective. And this goes again for romantic connections. If people want a traditional marriage, once, might I add, the marital laws are amended in order to protect both sexes, although mostly us men, then I highly suggest you lose this ideology of wanting a soulmate, wanting to seek a soulmate. Because I went wrong once before with that theory. There is no such thing as a soulmate. Because like I said, once we are one with God the Father through his Son Jesus Christ, our soul becomes our mate. And once you love your soul for who he is, or who she is for that matter, we can then begin to radiate that unconditional love and forgiveness, mercy, grace, patience, gratitude, integrity, and all of these other fruits of the Spirit, might I add, as well as behavioural changes to one's character. In other words, people need to stop with this residing within your feelings and emotions. It's unhealthy. And why do I know that it's unhealthy? Well, I'm going to break that down to you before wrapping this video up. I don't want to keep it too long. The reason why, like I said, friendships and relationships fail is because people fall into their feelings and emotions. And what happens when people fall into their feelings and emotions? Please, someone tell me what happens. No? No one? Right, okay. I'll tell you what happens. You're inviting spiritual warfare into your life, and you're only contributing to whatever feeling and emotion you're giving off into the atmosphere. Like, let's say, I don't know, you're angry and you're murderous at heart, and you are also feeling that on a whole. Because you're giving that out to the atmosphere, you're attracting it back. You are attracting it back through other people that have those demonic influences, those codependent attachments, as you will. Now, this is where it gets even better. If you're radiating unconditional love, peace, gratitude, patience, integrity, forgiveness, grace, salvation, and all of these other biblical characteristics, as you will attract that back within his divine timing. So there you have it, folks. Quit bashing the whole troll theory. Yes, it's unfortunate, like I said, that there are 90% up to 95% of trolls that deliberately throw dirt at that name with their tyrant behaviour, their rebellious behaviour. And then you've got humorist trolls. Trolls that like to go by biblical scriptures, the 10 Commandments, judgments, and statutes that hold people accountable and responsible for their actions as much as themselves. Peace.